Welcome back to KTN Prime. Thank you for staying with us. In studio, I'm joined by two legislators, one former, as we get to canvass the state of the nation. A lot has been happening in the last few days, political-wise, governance-wise, and we'll try and canvass all those issues that are emerging in the country as we inch ever closer to the 2027 general election, barely a year and some change away. Allow me to introduce my guests who are already in studio. We're joined by the Member of Parliament for Naivasha constituency, MP Jane Kihara. Karibu sana to our studios. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you very much, Rogers.
Asante.
This is the first time to be here.
Yes. I hope it's not the last.
It shouldn't.
Oh, okay.
At least you have started calling me.
Kabisa. I will extend an invite time and time again.
Thank you for having me.
Asante. It's equally the first time we're hosting Vincent Kemosi, who's the former West Mugirango Member of Parliament. He's equally the chairperson of the Jubilee Party. Karibu sana to our studios.
Yeah, thank you very much.
How's West Mugirango?
It was good, and I'm preparing to get back to West Mugirango again. Next year.
I can already get the hint. And how's Jubilee Party?
Jubilee Party, we are trying challenges here and there, but we are trying to grow it up and popularize them more.
Asante, we'll get to the details in a few. We're equally joined by Dr. Peter Masara, who's the Member of Parliament for Suna West constituency. Karibu sana. How's Migori County in Suna West?
Migori County is okay.
Yeah.
Suna West is perfect. And I'm happy and glad to be here this night.
The former Migori governor had a conviction just today. We won't be able to canvass that, but it definitely shows the thin line or the bloodline between lawlessness and governance. It's quite unfortunate.
I don't want to discuss the topic, but I sent my sympathies to the families who are involved, both for Saron and the former governor, who is my friend.
Yes.
And we wish at the end of the day, all shall be well.
Kabisa.
Yes.
And how's the Kenya Kwanza administration doing in Migori County?
Actually, in Migori County, we have broad-based. We don't have Kenya Kwanza. We have broad-based government.
Yes.
Which is doing fairly well because of the architects. The late Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga left us in good hands. And we appreciate that.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll get to the details in just but a few, but it's a pleasure having you all here with us. Senator Dan Manzo will be joining us in a few. He's on the way and we'll usher him into the discussion once he gets here. So Jane Kihara, I'd like to start with you because just today we saw you in Olkalau constituency during a somber ceremony laying to rest two men who unfortunately lost their lives last week during the Olkalau by-election. And perhaps you can break down the clarion call, because I'm pretty sure there were calls for accountability, calls for justice, but at the end of the day, we really have to talk about this issue of Gunism. So perhaps start with what exactly was there in Olkalau today.
Thank you very much. It was a very, very sorrowful moment where two young men lost their lives to these goons. And one of them, unfortunately, is not married. So that is a family now gone. He's not been married. His name is James Muigai. And then there's this one who has left young children. And this is a driver who just came to vote. He left his truck. He drives a truck. He left his truck at Gilgil to rush to Olkalau, vote and go. Just as he walked out, there was that commotion of the goons. And then that's how he met his death. We are asking the government to account for those deaths, to give justice to the families, because now there's a lady there who is left as a widow with children to take care of. There's a family there who have lost their son just because of this madness of goons. It was a very, very, very sad moment. As I share their sorrow and send my condolences, we needed to go because I was there in the campaigns. And I saw how rough they were. a government that knew it was losing, and what they thought best was to cause chaos. Because people voted very early, and when they realized that they had lost, they brought in those guys you saw with guns. I don't know what to call them, goons, because these are policemen. You saw them with guns, shooting carelessly all over. If this is how we are going to run our election, I'm sorry, we will not have a country.
So how exactly did these two men pass on? Because the details are scanty. Was it a case of shooting? Was it a case of mob justice? What exactly transpired that led to the loss of...
You know what they wanted to do, or what they were trying to do, is just to cause chaos in the big polling stations, so that they intended actually to rig the election. They wanted to bring in ballot boxes. So they came beating everybody. They were just beaten with these big stakes.
Well, were they part of the voters who were trying to protect the ballot 400 meters away from the polling station, I assume?
One was a voter. The other one was just waiting. You know, we were supposed to protect our vote from outside. So that's how they got beaten.
Okay, it's quite unfortunate. And we hope for no more loss of lives. But even as we push this conversation forward, Kemosi, at the end of the day, we are facing a challenge that can mutate into disaster, into utter chaos, you know, and how do we nip it at the bud from where you sit? And in just but a few, we'll be hearing from President William Ruto, from the Interior Cabinet Secretary, who have talked tough, but action seems a little bit light. So from where you sit, is there goodwill to ensure that this issue of goonism is done away with once and for all, whether goons, whether rogue police officers, you name it?
First and foremost, the safety and security of Kenyans rests entirely on the government of the day. It's the government which is supposed to protect its citizens from thuggery, goonism, and all other acts of violence. However, this particular government, the Kenya Kwanza government, which found its way on platform of protecting human lives. That was the platform on which William Ruto was elected. They have abandoned that particular objective. Now, as you can see, there is chaos all over. Goons are terrorizing people. Previously, you saw about a week ago, goons invading a church in Kisumu, coming with bows, arrows, in full glare of the policemen. And the government is not even getting accountable. So therefore, it's high time that the president has already accepted that there is goonism in this country. And it's late for him to act. And I can say, from where I see the way you've said, that there is no political goodwill on the part of the government to clear this menace of goonism. It's not a secret that some of these goons we are talking about are not civilian. These are police officers who have disguised them in civilian attire. They are terrorizing, maiming, injuring Kenyans without any action. And that is why we are demanding that wherever there is a meeting, rally, or any sort of gathering, the people who should provide security should be uniformed police officers. And it's high time that the government acts, because if it fails to act, Kenyans are now getting impatient.
But you know, you politicians are equally part of the problem. We've had calls, some politicians want to protect themselves, perhaps due to what they view as the government's unwillingness to offer protection. So that's a recipe for disaster. We might easily slide into anarchy. So as politicians, how can you be part of the solution as well?
No, we are part of the solutions. There must be the government goodwill, first of all.
Okay.
And no politician is above the law. If you feel Kemosi has come with goons, he has paid the goons, arrest him and charge him in court. But on the other side, when we see, when the people are aligned to the government, mobilizing goons, no action is taken. Actually, as we speak about this goonism, about 2-3 weeks ago, in Keumbu Market, when Linda Mwananchi came to Kisii, a gentleman, a young man with, very small children, was killed in the full glare of the police officers. The vehicles were just driving away. It was not a meeting. The vehicles were driving away from Kisii en route to Keroka. So they passed through Keumbu Market. That is where they encountered goons in broad daylight. They were with sticks, they were with pangas, some of them with, with crude weapons, all sorts of crude weapons. And along that road, yes, as they were throwing stones, injuring people, there were police officers. They never took action. They were watching. And after now the gentleman has, has died, there was summons. The area MP, Sahiri Chanda, was summoned to go and record a statement. Yeah. Being allied to the government, he never went. There's no action that was taken. Nobody has been arrested up to this day. That is why we are saying the government is an accomplice to this goons.
Let's hear from the authorities themselves before we cross over to you, Masara, because just today, President William Ruto talked tough. We equally heard from the Interior CS, Kipchumba Murkomen, who said that the buck stops with the Inspector General of Police and he's not micromanaging him. So we just want to hear from what the government had to say in just but a few, because they've talked tough, as we've mentioned, yet action seems a little bit of a letdown. This is what they had to say.
Hawa goons, nimesema ya kwamba kuna watu walikuwa wanatetea goons. Sasa tumekubaliana sisi wote, hata hiyo mambo ya goons tutazima. Kenya lazima iwe ni nchi yenye iko na amani na kila Mkenya ataendesha biashara yake bila amefanya. Vile tulimalizana na terrorists, tukamalizana na cattle rustlers, tukamalizana na criminals ambao walikuwa wanaharibu mali ya wa Kenya, pia tutamalizana na hawa goons. Kila Mkenya aweze kufanya biashara yake, aweze kufanya siasa yake, aweze kufanya maendeleo yake bila ya kusumbuliwa na mambo ya ukosefu wa usalama. And I have confidence in our police service that they will deliver on their mandate to make sure that our country is secure.
The fear the police had that if they deal with these criminals, they don't have public support, is now behind us. Deal with these goons ruthlessly.
Well, the powers that be have spoken. We haven't heard from the Inspector General of Police yet, but as you come in, Masara, at the end of the day, using goonism or rogue police officers as a response to political competition, will it stop after the president's marching orders? Is there goodwill that the other leaders sort of doubt?
Actually, I want to appreciate the president. When the president speaks in a national television about a crisis in a country, we need to give him benefits of doubts because he's the head of the state. We have heard from the CS in charge of Interior, Murkomen, and now we are waiting for action. As a patriotic Kenyan, I want to say we have only one country. Therefore, we need to protect it. Some action may be favorable to individual at a given point, but at the end of the day, they may escalate to something which even those who initiated them may not control. Therefore, I don't support goonism, and I support the government initiative so that we can stop it.
Have you seen tangible action ever since this phenomena started playing out?
I can say that, let me give example of the Kisumu one, the church function. You realize many youths were arrested. And that particular incident was organized. It was an organized one. It was not a natural one. The Kisumu has been having issues ever since the Kisumu people were in opposition. But at no given time have you ever seen people coming with arrows and bows. It means those were imported people. So the government must speed up or must come out of the box, the way their normal way of operation, because things are coming out of hand. I think something needs to be done. It's not only for the government, but for every leader. When goons are out there, you never know whom they are going to meet. Maybe your mom went to a market or was in a safari. Coming back, they get involved in such incidences. So we want, personally, I sit in the Security Committee of the National Assembly. I've been there for the last 9 years. And I believe something can be done.
And how do we differentiate between disenfranchised youth who are looking for perhaps opportunity, and the lowest hanging fruit is a politician who is at a meeting, and you know how the narrative goes, between those and the ones who are hell-bent on taking advantage to cause mayhem, destruction of property? Because politicians move with vijana. So how do you differentiate the goons and those with legit motive?
Actually, the actions will enable an individual to differentiate between goons and those private securities, the way they behave. But generally, I think it is the responsibility of the government to provide security. Therefore, it is important that we create, of which the government is trying, avenues for youths to get engaged. Because when a majority are engaged, even politicians will not find people to use as private security. If I want to give an incident which happened in my constituency a few days ago, I know at a given point you are going to mention it. On a Monday, there was a project which was supposed to, the groundbreaking ceremony was to take place. We were to do it jointly with the current governor, but apparently he decided to do it otherwise. He organized for a separate meeting, a different meeting altogether, in the same venue without giving notice. He mobilizes the goons. Fortunately or unfortunately, he mobilized also the police officers. He's a very cunning character. He does bad things and play victim. So he called everybody, OCS, OCPD, county commandant, to an extent they called even the regional commandant to bring him for officers. We were wondering what was the intention. Maybe it was privy to an information. Fortunately enough, we played it smart. We left the venue and went to just 500 meters away. And our meeting took place from almost 8 to 3. And there was no bad incident. But himself, he had 13 Land Rovers and almost 20 pro boxes carrying goons. So what needs to happen is the government need to treat politicians who are hell-bent to use criminals to advance their agenda. And I believe not all politicians love goons, because some have fallen victims of the same goons. So all of us as leaders, we need to come up together and agree in principle that the issue of goonism may be in future out of control. Because after election, what will these goons be doing? There was an incident which happened sometimes in Seme.
Briefly,
where a politician came with goons. But at the end of the day, he was unable to control them. The bereaved person went and asked, now you came with them, can you control them? And will you control them? So this question needs to be asked with each and every one of us. Yes, these goons may help you today, but post-election or post the event, will you be in a position to control them? I believe we may not be in a position to control them as politicians, because if they are used to getting money from politicians to cause chaos, then even without politics, they'll still be in need of those monies.
Indeed.
Then they'll cause chaos even when there is no chaos to get money.
Well, it's good that we all know the problem and we're talking about the solution. It's a concerted effort, even as we appreciate the presence of Makueni Senator Dan Manzo. Thanks for making time. We're talking about this issue of goonism, and at the end of the day, it's ever so rare that we get the financiers in the dock. either arrested, prosecuted, or even jailed. So how do we get to such a point with your knowledge of the law that we can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this is the individual financing goons who caused destruction, caused mayhem, and in some instances, loss of life? But equally, talk to us about the rogue elements in the National Police Service, because they have been captured on camera time and time again. Waitima Church, if we come closer to what happened in Olkalau, how do we root out these rogue elements? Yet IPOA seems to be a toothless dog, sorry to say.
Yes, let me say, first of all, thank you for the invite, and that these incidents are known, from the church attacks to the attack of Senator Osotsi in Kisumu in a restaurant, to politicians who are attacked days before Wetime, and I represented them before IPOA. All the cars which were damaged were there. The bullets, could be picked, and today every bullet in Kenya can be matched to a gun, unless it's a gun used by a criminal. And having reported that, nothing much happened. I want to say that the incident in the church in Kisumu and All Saints Cathedral, they are captured on camera, even in the Kisii attack, and the politicians associated with it are known. And therefore, that's where we need to begin if the president were to be serious with his remarks. Let the politicians who are associated as suspects in this be arrested and charged. We saw what happened in Olkalau, 6, 7 black Prados. On top of them, people wielding guns, they're in civilian clothes. During elections, the police officers who serve the IBC are deemed to be election officials. And ordinarily, policemen have a number, they are not covered, their face is not covered, and their name, and can be identified. But these ones were on top of Prados. They killed 2 people. They caused mayhem in Olkalau town. They caused mayhem earlier on by burning down a DCP truck, blocking it. That is a route used by tourists going to Mount Kenya Safari Club and going to climb Mount Kenya, and even people going all the way to Ethiopia is a route used. So it disrupts tourism in the country. It gives a sense of insecurity, and yet the systems in the country have been weakened. The institutions have been weakened. The institution of police, who now the president is ordering to do something, have been weakened in the sense that those guys in the Prados could not be arrested. Their number plates are known. Even when they are fake, you are able to get the real number plate, and the owner is able to tell you, or you are able to track his movements that day. So there's no way the government cannot say it's not aware, the way CS Murkomen has been saying, and the way he's been downplaying it, and the way he's been saying there will be public sympathy about goons. First and foremost, these young people are doing this business because they are jobless. The reasons why the Gen Zs went to the streets has never been addressed in the country. Even when the president says now university fees is going to be free, today the CS for Education was before a committee in Parliament where I sat, and I asked him where is the budget, because the budget has already been done, unless a supplementary budget is done. If you are unable to do capitation just for basic schools, how are you going to deal with the university situation? Where is the concept? Who has sat down to do it? And most important, where is the budget? So, we should stop joking around with Kenyans. And the current government must get serious. It has told too many stories. It has told too many lies. It has attempted to give Kenyans hope. This story of goons, we must begin there. They are associated with the politicians. They are hired by politicians. They are paid by politicians. Those are the first people to arrest and charge with the murder, like in the case of Kisii, charge with the malicious damage to property. You saw the Land Cruiser crashed in Olkalau and a big stone inside the car. Whoever organized young people to attack a church in Kisumu, that team carry bows and arrows, pangas, and they dare attack a church. They are baying for the blood of a man of God who they don't like his way of preaching. I think the state should stop playing around with God and the name of God and holy places, sanctuaries. That is an attack on God. And ordinarily, it doesn't take challenges from men. I want to finish with a story of the Assyria kingdom, which was very powerful. It had 385,000 troops, and they terrorized everybody. I one day went to King Hezekiah and told him they wanted the gold in the temple. And in fact, they dared tell him, just like these goons, even your God will not help you. Because that's what they are doing when they are walking into that church. That's the message they're sending. So God sent the angel of death, and all those troops were killed overnight because Hezekiah prayed about it. Okay. And the next day, that king was helpless, was only arrested by King Hezekiah and locked up. So the current government should stop playing with the sanctuaries. Serious things can befall on them. And that's the sure indication that this government is not serving Kenyans properly. It's killed a lot of Kenyans. There's a lot of blood cry from the ground. And sure enough, this government will go home.
Well, the voters will decide come 2027. Let's take a short break. As we come back, we'll be evaluating the political landscape because ever since the Olkalau by-election results were mentioned by IEBC, it seems there's a split opinion on what it means. Is that simply a drop in the ocean? Is it a political outlook for Mount Kenya region? What about the other regions? Some are saying that development from Mount Kenya should be brought to those of us who are loyal to the broad-based government. And is the united opposition really united or disunited? Mind you, Jubilee Party equally fielded a candidate in Olkalau where DCP had a candidate. Many are reading much into it. We have a Jubilee member here, we have a DCP member here, in extension a UDA member, and we'll get to uncover the intricacies. Do stay with us. We'll be back in a few. Welcome back to KTN Prime. Thanks for staying with us. We continue with our deliberations on the state of the nation with leaders who are joining me right here in studio. Allow me to reintroduce them in case you're just joining us. I'm joined by Jane Kihara, the Member of Parliament for Naivasha constituency, equally joined by Vincent Kemosi, the former West Mugirango Member of Parliament and the chairperson of Jubilee Party, equally joined by Dr. Peter Masara, the Member of Parliament for Suna West constituency, and Dan Manzo, the Senator of Makueni County. Jane, I'm pretty sure you were involved in the Olkalau campaigns. At the end of the day, the jury's out there on what that win means for Mount Kenya or William Ruto's re-election bid come 2027, bearing in mind Mount Kenya voted for him overwhelmingly. Let's talk about how a parliamentary win can be translated into a national election race. Because ideally, voters should be vetting these 9 candidates on their agenda, not voting based on who betrayed the other and such intricacies. Talk to us about how you're linking this win to Ruto being a one-term president.
Thank you. Before I answer that one,
yes.
Let me talk about the goons. Because you didn't ask me about how the president is talking tough. I don't believe anything that Ruto says. I don't believe it.
Why is that?
This is because I know him. I've been with him. I campaigned with him. He's just talking tough because now things have gotten worse. There are 2 sets of goons. We have got goons that are sponsored by the MPs who are aligned to the government. Those ones, they will not be asked. You saw some goons beating people in church here, All Saints Cathedral. And they said they were sent by an MP. That issue ended there. I hear the telephones they took from those who were robbed were replaced. True. And they said they were sent by an MP. Here in Olkalau, Mheshimiwa Kawanjiko has been seen. We have not had anybody telling him to record a statement. And of course, there's another set of goons, the government, the police. Those are Bukomen's boys. So that is why when he talks stuff, it's just it's PR. Really, there's nothing he's going to do. Because these are people who are known. These are their goons. This one I can tell you. Now, on this other one. First and foremost, I'm very happy. I'm a very, very happy person because I was involved in the campaign, which we structured so well. But I want to tell you, Rogers, without cheating myself, because I hate cheating myself, Ruto is leading a very angry society. And any leader following Ruto, it is because of their self-interest. It's not because of Mwananchi. Anybody there saying Ruto is good, he has done this, he has done this, he has done this, that is selfish because we know how he has driven the local Mwananchi. We know how the Mwananchi is suffering. If I want to talk about Mount Kenya, that was a very sweet win. We are so happy. And I'm telling you, that is where Mount Kenya is. What happened in Okalau is what is going to happen.
So how is a parliamentary win a veto against President William Ruto?
Well, you know now he has got the numbers in parliament. So he has his day, he has got his business just flowing whether we like it or not. We are very few who are opposed to him. But this is just the beginning. We have added one more. When we go for elections, Ruto will have no MPs in Mount Kenya.
So that's the end of UDA in Mount Kenya from where you sit?
I see it that way.
Okay, Masara, come into this, because at the end of the day, the broad-based government has been quite vocal after that by-election win. You've listed the 9 parliamentary and senatorial wins you've had as a coalition, if I could call you that. And at the end of the day, you say it's a drop in the ocean. But you've heard from Mheshimiwa here, who says it's a sign of things to come. The writing is on the wall. How do you reply to that?
You know, I remain to be a politician. The other day when UDA won a parliamentary seat in Central Province, if we can go by the same standards, what does that mean? Because it was just a few months ago when UDA won a parliamentary position in Central Province. Now when they lose one, Ruto is one term. But let me say this, politics generally is dynamic. What happens today may not happen tomorrow. We agreed that Central Province voted to President William Ruto almost to a man in the last general election. And some areas never voted for President William Ruto in the last general election. Since I can use Honorable Kiara's words, politics about interest. Now, based on what she has said, it means those who never voted for him now will vote for him. Those who voted for him may not vote for him. We can't say 100% because the other day there was a MP who won through UDA in Central Province. What I can say is that personally, I never voted for President William Ruto in the last general election. I voted for Raila Amolo Odinga. But this time around, I'm going to vote for President William Ruto. Why? The same words I'm using is that politics about interests. I'm a leader and I represent the people. For a long time, our people have been paying taxes with zero return in terms of development. My party, ODM, has been agitating or advocating for inclusivity. We are now seeing almost all tribes in Kenya being included in the government. Projects are all over the country, be it central, northeastern, Nyanza, western. They are ongoing development project. Let me speak for my people. In Suna West, we have several roads being tarmacked now. We have an airstrip where the terminal is being done. There are affordable housing. There is market being constructed. There is a TTI being done. And I can say that we are feeling the heat of being in a country where national cake is being shared. So from where I sit, for the first time, I believe 100% of our people are going to vote William Ruto. We want to encourage young people from our region to register as voters. We would then let them, those who have attained the mandatory age of 18 to register for the ID, so that in 2027 we can vote William Ruto to complete his second term, so that 2032 we can plan ourselves. But I can assure you, President William Ruto came into power when there were a lot of challenges. The reality is some of the people opposing him are bitter because they misbehaved and were removed from power. For the last 2 years, when the people of Central were having majority of share in the government, they were not talking about the bad William Ruto. I'm wondering how he will turn out to be a bad person the moment they differed. The reality is, we have only one leader called President William Ruto at the moment. He has his strengths and weaknesses. As patriotic Kenyan, let's pray for him so that he can deliver the mandate which was given to him by the same people who are complaining now. On his weaknesses, also, we ask God to help him to steer this country to the next level. Okay. We only live when we are given hope. So what President William Ruto is doing the right thing as a leader. When things are bad, you give hope to your people. As leaders in parliament and outside parliament, let us make the promises made by the president to be a reality. Let us not condemn the National Police Service, because even those who are condemning them are having bodyguards who are police officers. So the few elements who are bad in the National Police Service Commission should be dealt with accordingly. Okay. But the National Police Service Commission should be protected. And somebody mentioned that IPOA is toothless. I want to appreciate IPOA and especially the environment they are operating on. One, they are under-resourced. They need to be given enough resources so that they can monitor the operations of our police officers. Anybody appreciating 2010 Constitution, because IPOA is a product of 2010 Constitution, and we believe it is a new concept in this country. Right. It was borrowed majorly, partially from South Africa and America. I visited the two countries on the same issues. And if you look at how South African equivalent to IPOA is operating, it's totally different from this one of ours. Because IPOA investigate partially, and the prosecution is still left to the police officer whom they are investigating. The powers of the IG are still more than what the chairperson of IPOA can handle. Therefore, we need to strengthen IPOA to continue investigating and oversighting the work of police officers. What I want to say is that the few individuals who are misusing police officers need to be taken to account for their actions, because the roles of Kenya Police Service are very clear, and it cuts across. It serves the oppositions, it serves the government. What remains is how partial are they? Okay. So something needs to be done about cases where police officers are reported to have misused their powers. And I can say that I was in opposition for a long time until we joined broad-based government. Police officers need to be responsible, and if at all we need a good country, they should not be misused. Those who are misusing police officers need to separate politics and being in the office.
So it seems the silver bullet is in strengthening institutions to deal with the rogue elements within the National Police Service.
Yes.
Okay, Kemosi, right of reply.
Let me say this on Olikarao elections and what it holds for this country. the outcome of Olkarau by-elections is a reflection of 2027 general elections, a total reflection. And this by-election has also served as a referendum against the Kenya Kwanza government. Kenyans spoke and eloquently spoke. They fought against high taxation, poor distribution of resources, a poor economy, and the poor leadership of this country. This is not what they fought for in the 2022 elections. I and my sister Chenia, we had an advantage, a privilege then to vote for and campaign for William Ruto. But if you look at our manifesto, what was in the UDA manifesto is not what is being implemented now. I had William Ruto speak each and every other meetings that we held that he was going to deal with poor lending, that is predatory lending. I've never had him speak about that. So going forward, two things. Kenyans now are prepared to change the leadership of this country when it comes to 2027. And I'm very sure there is no any amount of persuasion that is going to stop Kenyans from effecting or getting an effective leadership. I've heard my brother here speak about the development in this country, that development is in every part of this country. Where is the development? Them, they are lucky. Having come from opposition, they never, took any part in pressing the government in power, but they are the major beneficiaries now.
As it should be. Equity is
what we,
irrespective of who you voted for.
And that is what the government of the day should do. Mm-hmm. If you come to Kisii, you will find the president coming, launching projects. The moment he moves on, is followed by the machines. Mm. He came to Kisii, he launched an airstrip, Suneka. Next day, the machines he brought, they followed him from back. He launched an MTC in my constituency. The next day, it was sealed by iron sheets. Nothing is going on in Kisii. Mm. That reflects what is also happening in central Kenya. It's not what my brother is saying, that some people are now unhappy because they were moved from government. Who was removed from government? Rigathi Gachagua was part of this government. He, me, and others, including Jenny Kihara here, we are the people who formed this government. Mm. And I'm happy when William Ruto, lost favor with His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta persevered him. He allowed him to run until 2022. What was it difficult for him to persevere and leave Rigathi Gachagua to be the deputy president until 2027? So the only problem in this country, my brother, is the politics of petroleum. Deceit. That is where we have a problem. You lose favor with one person, you want to punish the whole community. And that is unacceptable. And that is why we have said, and the clarion call for all Kenyans and us as leaders, in order to liberate this country from bad leadership, we must ensure William Ruto goes home in 2027.
And even as you say that, at the end of the day, Jubilee Party had a candidate in Olkarau.
Yes.
How many votes did he garner?
We fairly did well. We fairly did well. Maybe that is subject to what you would interpret. We fairly did well. But the most important thing is we went to Olkarau as a family, united opposition. And in my own, I'm happy that the DCP candidate overwhelmingly won. What was in Olkarau was a fight from UDA to DCP. UDA was fighting directly the DCP.
But you're the incumbents.
The people of Olkarau were wise enough. They saw that this is a fight from the government to the opposition, which is a DCP, and whose leader had been unlawfully impeached.
So when people look at the number of votes, what do you think translates in their minds in terms of perhaps Jubilee's influence in the mountain or Uhuru Kenyatta's relevance in current political space?
This was just a by-election.
But she just
the
said
general election is coming.
I think
referendum to the...
I think Jubilee was not decided because initially we were told they are not going to field a candidate. And then we saw there was a candidate. It was agreed initially that they were not. I'm surprised, Vincent, I didn't know you were chair in Jubilee.
Oh, you don't even know the chair of Jubilee? And you're in the United Opposition.
I've got to know it now. I know that the party leader and the deputy party leader and another chairman, I think Kioni.
No, I'm the chair, the national chairperson.
Okay. And what is Kioni?
Kioni is the deputy party leader, operations.
Okay, because Kioni and Governor Kimemia and there's somebody else who came. When they launched the candidate, they disappeared. Nobody ever came to help him. He was alone. This guy was alone all through. So I'm not sure they were ready to field a candidate, and that's why they dismally performed, because that guy was left alone.
And you know, in politics, optics plays a very big part. So at the end of the day, that's why perhaps they're saying this is the disunited opposition. And as Senator...
absolutely. That is not a political parameter to say that this is a disunited...
Jane Kiara is a very senior member of this country. If he doesn't even know the chair of Jubilee, and that shows you that...
No, there are many positions. I have no interest.
But chair is a very important
Let's
position.
Chair defend himself, Masara. Briefly, before we cross over to Senator.
Yes, I'm saying this is not... Actually, this is not a political parameter to say that this is a disunited coalition. What we've said, actually, and that is subject to discussions, we have not said how we are going to the elections in 2027 in terms of the lower seats, mapping or not mapping. But we are united at the top.
Did Jubilee have a candidate in Bere North?
No, we didn't have a candidate in Bere North.
Did DCP have a candidate in Bere North?
No, it didn't have a candidate.
So you put your weight behind the DP candidate?
Absolutely.
So why didn't it
even now, don't look at what we got in Orikarau. Look at our impact in Orikarau. Because when we went to Orikarau, we also assisted what was being planned against DCP or opposition candidates. UDA came with, that is what we are speaking about, Hunsim. So our presence there, we also assisted to restore
the presence of Jubilee or
DCP.
Let us get this clear.
We have to hear from Senator. He's been patient. Let's bring him into the discussion.
Let me just say this, please. When Honorable Masara says that they won a seat, UDA won a seat in Bere North. I want him to know the difference of those two elections. In Okalau, we beat them 7 times.
Yes.
In Bere, they won with 400 votes.
300,
yes.
400 votes.
Yes.
Do you still say that
they didn't win, they
it is
stole.
1 for 1?
They stole the
Just a
election.
moment.
Let
us not lose this.
They stole the election.
Senator, let us not lose this.
They stole, and I know how it was stolen.
I'm very happy because
And they have threatened to steal the
broad-based
general
government is going to win this 2027
And
election.
there's a petition
Let
on
me
Bere.
ask you, when they win only one
Because they
position,
brought those
I mean, I've allowed you people to talk.
just one. Look, it's okay. It is okay. We won.
They match it.
Let's proceed honorably.
ODM won election in Coast Province. ODM won election
Stole
in Ogenya. Ogunja. In Kasipol. And then UDA won election in Emuadikir and several other places. Yes. I had both Kihara and my brother, the chairman of Jubilee, talking about, since UDA lost this position, it is now an indicator that President William Ruto is going to lose.
Yes, and
remember in 2022, President William Ruto never won the Magarini or Kasipul, and even the other positions which were being carried by the opposition by then. So as they exit, other 9 positions came in. So what are they using? Which parameter are they using so that they can indicate that President William Ruto is going to lose? To me, let them continue being disunited. Let Jubilee fit their candidate, UDA, Wiper, as we continue to consolidate Kenyans. Kenya, just a moment, to consolidate Kenyans towards President William Ruto's second term.
Let's bring in Senator.
Why do I say that?
Yeah.
If we can get votes from Coast, from Western Province, from Nyanza, from Nairobi, where UDA was not very popular, from other areas, and then sections of the country are protesting, which is their right. My brother talked of that, President William Ruto is now isolating other people. Do you know the number of ministers coming from Central Province in the current government? Do you know the number of PSs coming from Central Province?
Okay.
The number of PSs,
gentlemen,
the number of ministers coming from Central Province and PSs. They are ministers. A minister.
You have taken energy, you have taken finance. You are
so
giving
the government of
Kenya, you are giving them special programs. What type of ministries?
I will switch off the mics, gentlemen. Okay, mics off. Okay, Senator, come in. Disunited. It seems that at the end of the day, the unity is in question. Just speak to that as you add on to what has been said.
Well, I want to say that the united opposition and the united alternative government is working together. We've got several political parties. What has happened is that although PNU and Jubilee fielded candidates in Olkalau, none of them ever followed up those candidates. And at some point, when they were asked to step down, the candidates themselves insisted on carrying on with the competition. And I want to say that from DCP to Wiper, to Jubilee, to DAP, to PLP, all those parties are working together. We all work together in Olkalau. And now that Olkalau is done, we are now in phase 2. Tomorrow and this weekend, we are in Western Kenya as the Linda Mwananchi team. And once Linda Mwananchi team does is, puts, his team together, then we'll soon be having a sitting and we will present one presidential candidate who will definitely send William Samoei Ruto home. Ruto has sent himself home. He has run the government on a hard work basis. He has killed a lot of young people. He has spilled a lot of blood. His government has attacked people. They have downplayed it. They know it. They're doing nothing about it. They have attacked churches. Kenyans are not happy with him at all. What I want to ask the young people, because we've got, from the statistics, we've got about 4 million. And I really want to thank a young man called Ademba. He mobilized 2 million young people registered as voters. And the registration is still going on. And before it closes, I really want to urge the 4 million young people to go and register as voters, make sure they participate in the election, because it is their right. They're the ones who have suffered most in this regime. The economy is poor. The insecurity they have created in the country have sent away tourists. And there are many, the education system is frustrated. The health sector is frustrated. There is nothing President William Ruto has done right in this country. He seems to be taking no advice from all those brilliant brains around him. He seems to be running the country alone. So if he allowed 4 million votes to exceed, what is he going to replace that 4 million votes with?
1 million.
So,
1 million from Nyasa.
Yes, he can't replace. It's just, and there's a lot of chest thumping. I saw the Honorable Duale calling, name calling other communities.
Let's not repeat the name, yes, kindly.
And we don't want to repeat that sort of thing, but we are saying there is lack of discipline within the teams of William Ruto. They are so frustrated. They are mourning the loss of Olkalau, which they had boasted and chest-thumped that they were going to win. We are aware that in all other by-elections, they cause trouble and stall the election. They will really they have teams who... And we have filed election petitions.
Yes.
All that documentation.
Mudende was cleared in court, wasn't he?
Well, it has been appealed.
Okay.
Because all that documentation is available.
All right.
And they saw the attempt. The good news, very good news for all Kenyans, because every Kenyan had been told now UDA is going to steal the election. We had heard those speaking from Garissa. We heard those speaking from Wajir. We heard those speaking from Western Kenya in some function, boasting out because of the government system, how they will steal the election. Now Kenyans have found a cure to that. Do the voting, then surround the primary school. Protect your vote. Don't be where they are counting, don't be, because you have enough agents there. Surround so that no one can sneak in ballot boxes.
Let's hear from President William Ruto, and I'd like your reply.
Just before you go there, I want to answer Masara here. Very North, UDA got 15,802. DCP, not DCP, but DP then, 15,308. Emurwa Dikil, DCP got Ruto's region, 10,760. UDA got 18,266. Okarao, 35,700 for DCP and 5,300 for UDA. Marava, and you know the goons they took there.
And the
DCP got 20,210. UDA got 21.
DAP.
So in total,
Malaba is DAP.
Why don't you go to
DAP. Now,
Go to Ugunja?
No, wasn't Kwambia now. Yeah.
You just go to Ugunja. Be fair.
No, we are dealing with UDA.
We are dealing with UDA. We didn't go there.
You didn't bother about
we don't care.
That's
nice.
No, we don't care.
UDA did not run
because we don't go.
Yes.
81,000 against 60. So much as you say you have got very many, you have won many elections, but because of the goons
tally.
And the total tally is DCP.
Can I have a rejoinder for only 2 minutes?
Just hold on.
Only 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes.
Only 2 minutes
because we don't lose it. Let me be very clear, because those who are talking have never got experience. My first election, I was as a member of parliament. I was elected as an independent member of parliament. It didn't mean that the people of Sona West didn't love Raila Amolo Odinga by then. I was elected as a member of parliament with all those votes, around 19,000 and something. But Raila Odinga got a lot of votes from the same constituency as ODM. It doesn't mean, maybe, just a moment, maybe the candidate who was given the UDA certificate was unpopular.
No.
There are so many circumstances why somebody can be defeated. Maybe in Rift Valley, the competition was so high to an extent that whoever was given the DCP certificate was popular on the ground, and whoever was given the UDA certificate was unpopular. Those circumstances are there. But all that's said and done, what we must agree is that at times, elections of MP do not determine the election of the president.
Okay.
Because there are so many...
Dynamics are different. Let's hear from the president. He was speaking today about the opposition and the journey ahead of 2027. This is what he had to say.
Mashindano hapa mbele itakuwa ni waziwazi. Tuko pamoja ama tuko pamoja? Ati hawa watu ndio wanashindana na mimi, shughuli. Ati hawa watu ndio wanashindana na mimi. Mtu ambaye anasema watu waendelee kukaa kwa slums. Ati watu wa mama waendelee kuuza kwa jua. Ati watoto wetu wa university na college waendelee kukaa vitongoji duni. ati huyo ndio mtu anashindana na mimi. Na niliwaambia these people hawana agenda, hawana mpango, hawana sera, hawana maono, hata akili. Hiyo ndio vile mambo ilivyo bwana. So mimi nawaeleza ndugu zangu, watu wa Nairobi, mimi nawauliza, tuendelee na kazi ama tuendelee? Tuendelee na kazi ama tuendelee? Nipange masomo ya watoto wetu? Niendelee na kujenga mabarabara? Tuendelee na housing? Tuendelee na masoko? Tuendelee na hostels? Tupange matibabu? Tupange maendeleo? Wangapi wanasema tuendelee na kazi jameni?
Senator, I'll start with you. Right of reply before
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to say that pride goes before a fall. The language the president has used is that any reasonable Kenyan, even those who had voted for him before, when he's using words like mafala, awana akili, while people know that they do have, is a language a normal citizen will not like. That sort of crowd he had put there. These are paid up people, misuse of own public funds. And when he talks about development, who are you doing the roads for? When more than 1,000 young people have been killed and quite a number of them have disappeared and no one to be accountable about them. The fact that you have attacked churches, the fact that you are using some policemen as goons on top of black Prados and kidnappings and a section called ATP, which is supposed to fight terrorism, is the one terrorizing Kenyans, then that crowd you're pulled there is not of the common Kenyan. And the same people you're pulled there are the same people who are going to vote against you. Just like the way they did in Olkalau, they took every goodie. People took the goodies, people took the money. In fact, an average person in Olkalau said they received 100,000 shillings in cash on the streets, gas cylinders, everything. But they still voted against them. The few votes they got, each cost them 3 million shillings. So that wastage of public funds, stealing and misusing of public funds, really, is what is going to send William Samoei Ruto home.
Okay. Jen,
I'll
come back to you. You had some 2 minutes.
Against one. So when you are giving Jen Kihara, the chairman Jubilee, you need to give, when you are giving
Enough
them two,
I'll
you give me
protect you,
8
sir.
minutes.
Yes, sir.
Because they are 3 against 1.
No problem.
Yeah.
I gave you 2 minutes
You need to give
freely.
me more minutes.
I'll protect you. No problem.
Protect
Jen.
me, please. And I've really
Like
tried.
I said before,
Thank you.
Ruto just talks. He just talks. He really can talk like he's talking there. This is a man who came to us holding a Bible. And then he's telling us we don't have a key. Hiyo ni language ya president kweli.
Manyumba zijengwi
Let me tell you.
in your constituency.
You are building them for who?
The problems people have, if you tell somebody who cannot pay school fees, who have nothing to eat, who has a patient who can't get treated, and then when you talk, you tell them you are building houses, that house is nothing to that person. You have forgotten completely the needs of the people who put you in office. When we know that for those houses, ni biashara yako. You are doing your own biashara. Hiyo ni land ambayo ni ya public. Umeenda kujenga kwa public land, unatumia pesa yetu. You know, he was telling us when we were campaigning, oh, we had a program with Uhuru Kenyatta to build affordable housing. But he didn't tell us when he comes, we are the ones to build them. Uhuru build without taxing us. This guy taxes us.
So raiding the payslip is an issue.
So raiding the payslip, that is a very quiet constituency that he doesn't know. They will not vote for him.
So we've seen civil servants are set for a salary hike. We're seeing the CBA, I think it's phase 2 of teachers being implemented. So perhaps their salaries are going higher.
We complained about this university financing model. But now he has realized actually children are not going to school. Now he has come with now promises of putting them there, and there's no budget for it. He didn't put budget for them. Because forever and a day, Ruto is campaigning. Just the way he cheated us when he was campaigning. Now this is where he is. He told us that technical TVET courses, when these kids go for courses, each one of them was going to get 34. I don't know how he had calculated. Not even 35, not 36. 34 they were going to get. These kids are now not going to school. That story died there. Because it's just promising. There are so many things he promised.
So over-promising, perhaps under-delivering.
Not delivering, not under-delivering, not delivering.
Okay, as you come in.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
It's quite unfortunate in the history of Kenya that we have a president who is supposed, instead of uniting Kenyans, the presidency is a symbol of national unity. But we have a president here whose work is to wake up in the morning, insult people, lie to Kenyans without giving hope. If you go to Musarendo Trust, the promises tracker, and I will invite you to go and look at it.
Yes.
You will find up to date, maybe there is a promise that was made today. They must have gone to 245. I'm sure there is a promise made today. If you look at the website, you will find out of the 245 promises made, only 26 have been implemented, translating to 10.43% of the promises William Ruto has made since he took power. Then tell me, how are you going to trust such a leader? All these people he's abusing, they have gone to school very well. They have wisdom besides going to school. And how does he measure that yeye hakuna akili mingi kushinda wao?
Juamna agenda.
Which agenda? We have agenda.
Which one?
Our first agenda is to send William Ruto home because he has misrun this country. And we will now start undoing what he has messed. One, we'll start with the education sector, which he has accepted today. That let me say the university model he brought on board about 2-3 years ago. It's not working.
True, and
today
we had the CS mentioned.
He has accepted that it's not working. The SHU they are talking about that is assisting Kenyans. It works in selective hospitals. And what it pays is peanuts. The housing is trying to pride themselves on. This is a total mess. This is a scandal of the year.
What's a mess in it?
Everything is a mess. One, let's start with one.
Before Masara comes in. Yes.
The money that he uses in building these houses comes from employees.
Yes.
Taxpayers, employees, both private and public sector. The land on which these houses are built is public land. And then now you sell them to people. So where is that money going? That is the first question. Two, most of these houses, they do not carry out a feasibility study before they put up these houses. Go to Kapsabet today. You will find that 800 units have been completed last year. Nobody is staying there. Go to Kapsabet. Come to Nyamira, where I come from, particularly West Mugirango, where I come from. The construction of these houses is ongoing. About maybe before elections, the units could have been completed.
Okay.
But look around. Who is going to buy these units? You are selling 3 to 5 million shillings. Where I come from, you buy land, 200,000-300,000 shillings, put up a house with 1.5 million shillings. Here you have your own compound. You are able to put in your cattle, cows, goats, and everything. And you also farm. So what we are trying to say is that this country has been misrun. And the person who has misrun this country is William Ruto.
Okay, Masara, your time.
Thank you so much. One, let me remind Kenyan what my fellow leaders have mentioned, that when I say that how many ministers are coming from central province and how many PSS are coming from province, they say those are clerks. So it means When another tribe is occupying the office of CS Treasury, then there's a problem.
What was there?
Just a moment.
Kemosi. Give him time.
Kemosi. That's
Parliamentary decorum.
That is the chairman of a party which want to remove Ruto from power.
You're on your time. Proceed.
When CS Mbadi now is in Treasury House, then that is a sin. When Opiyo Wanda is the CS Energy, that's a problem. So to them, it is only two ministries which are the government. I kept quiet when you were talking, and you were 3-1. Kindly give me time, because the machines are here. When you were talking about that, when you were saying those ministers and PSs are clerk, it is you people who are talking. You didn't know. I'll respond to that.
Proceed.
Now that Mbadi is the CS Treasury and Opiyo Wanda is the CS Energy, it is a big problem. When there are people who are occupying this office for the last 60 years, it was not a problem for others. That's why I'm telling my people, register as voters so that we can vote William Ruto for second term. Because he gave us this position and is a problem. That's why he's the wrong person now. Coming to development, I've seen President William Ruto going all over the country, launching projects in all
No, campaigning, not launching.
Let's give him time.
All the country. Kemosi is coming from Kisii region. A stadium has been procured, and a new stadium is being done, and several roads and several projects. There are several markets. There are several housing.
Can you name them?
There's so many.
Very specific.
Just a moment. I'll check and give you the. But the truth of the matter is that if you go to the website, almost all these affordable housing markets are being done. Let us not now. Can we go down the drain? People working in these projects are Kenyans. They are being paid every day. They earn a living through those projects. Those supplying material to these projects are earning a living from that project.
It is Ruto supplying.
That is building the economy.
It is Ruto supplying.
What I want to say is that there may be elements of dissatisfactions, but the projects are helping the people. I come from Migori. Now getting youths walking anyhowly in Suna West is a problem, because most of them are occupied in these projects.
In building houses.
In these projects. Therefore, what I want to say is this. Let us give Ruto credit where he has done well and blaming where things are wrong. The reality is, for example, the debts today President William Ruto is paying, some were incurred before he became a president. And most of those money the projects were done in section of the country, other people never benefited. But we are now, all of us are paying for those debts. Moving forward, I want to say there's inclusivity, because how things are being done, all other tribes are benefiting. The issue of housing, currently it might be a problem, but I can tell you at a given point, this housing unit, when sold, will start bringing money to the Affordable Housing Board. This money will be used for something else. That is the time maybe the affordable housing money will give the national government money to do other projects. Usually when a project is initiated, it has to have costs, and pain must be felt by the people contributing. But at the end of the day, we are going to see benefit of this project. Let us not just talk William Ruto is bad. We have now Bomas of Kenya being rebuilt again. We have the Talanta Stadium. There's money from the infrastructure fund going now. Contractors are back on the ground, which was not there before. There are several things which are happening now, which were not there before. To me, from where I sit, I want to say that when something is bad, I'll call it bad. But when something at least good is being done, I'll appreciate it.
So when there was
I can assure you that this united opposition is not going to defeat President William Ruto. Because Uhuru Kenyatta is pushing his agenda, Rigathi Gachagua is pushing his agenda, Sifuna is pushing his agenda, time is running out.
But what is
the moment they'll give us a presidential candidate is when we'll start campaigning. But I know they're not going to get one. They are going to be 6. And President William Ruto is going to defeat these people very early in the morning. Actually, very, very early in the morning.
Okay, so
by the time the polling
from what you were saying
open,
earlier, I seem to deduce the fact that this handshake between former President Kenyatta and the late Raila Odinga did not bring any bags of goodies in terms of development for your region.
Yes.
At all?
At all. It didn't.
And the Kisumu port
You are
was
being dishonest.
Let
me be honest with you. Today, every constituency in this country is having a new road. I sit in the budget committee. Just a moment. I sit in the budget committee. There are roads which were stalled. The ongoing project. They are now being funded. The contractors were out, but they are now back because they are ongoing projects. In Central Province, the Mau Mau roads, I used one when I went for the oversight.
Don't allow lies to be broadcast in this live television. Because in my constituency and the adjacent constituency of North Mugrango, there is no, for the last 10 years,
Brother, remember these people are three
never
and I'm
been
one
road.
So when I'm talking and they are talking,
finalize your point. Senator has been waiting.
Now, moving forward, I'll not keep quiet when they are talking, because when I'm talking, they are talking. Moving forward, I'll be talking as they talk.
Apologies. I should protect you.
Yeah, you need to protect me.
Apologies.
The government, I know there are issues of cost of living.
Okay.
That is true.
There
are areas, that's a fact. But some of the circumstances, for example, the cost of fuel now, you can't blame William Ruto. This is a global thing. There's a problem. There's the war in Iran and so many other things.
But you know what he said while deputy president.
The truth
you remember that, yeah?
The truth of the matter is the opposition now.
He didn't care what he said because he was not
there. Put it out there. The viewers are seeing.
Their work is now to, which is okay, to blame the government, which is very much okay. The government must be blamed so that they can work for the people of Kenya.
Must be held to account.
Yes, held to account. But the truth of the matter is the government is working, and we are seeing fruits of the work of President William Ruto.
Okay,
very soon the scorecard will be put. The reason why the President William Ruto is saying these people don't have agenda. When you say you don't want affordable housing, when you get power, what will you be doing? When you don't want markets, what will you be doing? When you don't want the President William Ruto in terms of this the CBC, where the system of education, they have employed a lot of teachers within a very short period of time. That's a fact. If you look at the number of teachers employed in the entire country since independence, and the number of teachers President William Ruto has employed during his 2.5 years in office, or 3 or so, is that there are a number of new teachers being employed and getting money. And then the salary, you said they raided the pay slip. That money now is going to be restated back.
Though we're still waiting for the JSS teachers to be confirmed. I hope that is in the budget. Senator, as you come in.
I want to say that what Ruto has done is too little, too late. And that's why he's done up to 10%. They have a lot of PR talk, as you can hear Masala say. There's a lot of lies and sugarcoating, while Kenyans can see through this. If you talk about the housing projects, most of them have challenges right now. SHA has challenges. You know, as a representative of the people, we receive complaint every other day. We are still fundraising for patients to leave hospital, or for people who unfortunately who have passed away, still stuck in hospital morgues. And we have to fundraise, and yet they are covered and they are paid up for SHA. So that has not succeeded, as had a lot of problems beginning. When you have houses like the one Honorable Kemos is talking about in Kapsabet, completed, and they have been there empty for 2 years, that means repairing them is a very serious expense, and keeping them in a running condition, that the water flows, the lighting is there, the leakages, and most of these houses were also poorly constructed. We are just praying God that there's not going to be an earthquake in Kenya, because you'll be surprised how most of them will not stay. And I had brought an issue when they were doing it in Makueni about the engineering bit of it and the negligence and failure to, and using wrong material, you know, like the used sand mixed with silt, which has very bad results. And we have to come in to stop that. So there are many, many challenges, and yet you can see even the companies, you know, who are doing the roads, who are doing the Talanta Stadium, the Bombers construction. Even when people have died in those construction sites, the Minister of Labour seems to have no idea. Yesterday, the Minister was on the floor of the House. I had raised a question of a resident of Makueni who died there.
Okay.
Up to now, 7 months later, no compensation, no system, no following the law, no following the Constitution. Ruto's system can only collapse with the masala there inside. And I can assure you, masala, you are going to be in the opposition again. Don't bring us demonstrations when you go to opposition.
Okay, let's not preempt. At the end of the day, our time is up. So if we could do 30 seconds each, final comments, rest of time, starting with you, Jay.
Okay, now I'll say this country is not moving in the right direction at all, at all, at all. Those avoidable housing is a big scam. It's a big scam, and most of the employees are angry with them because they have had their loans for the houses before, and now they have been forced to pay for something that they don't need. But the president is very convincing. He told us a lot of lies. I told you I was so close to him. Now this is the time. Now when he talks there, now I am able to judge that it is just talking to fill the day.
Okay.
And thank you for having me.
The only thing for Kenyans, the only thing that is remaining for them to redeem very good, decent life in the future is to register in big numbers. Registration is going on across the country. I call upon Kenyans to register in big numbers.
All right.
So that when we go to the general elections next year, we have an agenda. And that agenda is to send William Ruto home. Thereafter, we will reparate this country.
I want to tell Kenyans that we need to come together as a country. We need to be patriotic enough. We have only one country. The interest of individuals should not make us to destroy the country we have. We may have challenges as a country, but Kenya is bigger than the challenges. Yes. If we manage our challenges well, then we have tomorrow. I want to tell all Kenyans that we have realized hypocrites. Those who, when a certain community is holding a certain position, then it's a problem. We want to pray for our brother Mbadi to continue steering this country to the next level as the CS Treasury and Opio Wandai, because their presence in the government is causing jittery to so many people. We want to pray to President William Ruto because we know he's going to get his second term. Moving forward, let him fulfill the promises he gave to the people of Kenya. Where he's unable to do, let him come back to the people and tell them reasons, because you may promise as a leader and maybe challenges are not giving you, the circumstances are not allowing you to fulfill.
All right.
I want to tell all Kenyans and especially youths that let us not be used by those who have been given position before and they have failed, and now they want to think to cheat Kenyans that they are angels. Let us evaluate each and every leader from the time they occupy positions of leadership, their achievements and their failures.
Development track record.
Development track record.
Okay.
That is what is going to give somebody the second term or taking somebody home. But I'm convicted beyond reasonable doubt from where I sit that President Ruto is going to get his second term very early in the morning.
Senator, finally.
Well, I just want to say that we've got to protect our nation. We've got to make sure that the nation goes to the future and the future generations are able to enjoy this country. The only way to do that is to have a proper government in place. Kenya needs a Kibaki moment, like 202. President Kibaki never promised much, but he did a lot. And the projects he did are seen in the country. The tarmacs all over the country were gone. He redid them. from Mombasa to Bungoma to Nyeri to every part. In fact, for the first time, there was a road going to Moyale in Marsabit County. And nothing else has been done like that, and the connection to Ethiopia was done. So we are looking for a Kibaki moment. We want a settled government. We want a cool government. We want reasonableness in the country. We want the Kenyans to respect each other. And most important, we don't want to see senseless killings, kidnappings, disappearances done by the government, which does not want to be accountable and which weakens the institutions, weakens judiciary, weakens the police system, weakens the ESCC, weakens the presidency, and weakens politics generally. Finally, we vote. We now know the secret. Let all of us register to vote. Vote Ruto out. Stay, because these people are promised to steal the election. Surround the primary school from a distance and make sure no one steals the votes. And then William Ruto will go home, and the Kenyans will be happy and united once more.
And I hope it's done peacefully.
Cut trees like we did to close so that those thugs do not come.
All right, Jane Kihara, Member of Parliament, Naivasha constituency, asante sana for your time. Vincent Kemosi, former West Mugirango Member of Parliament, asante for making time. We equally appreciate Dr. Peter Masara, who had to stand tall in the midst of attacks, yeah, I had to protect you, but at the end of the day, it's politics, and at times we agree to disagree. He's the Suna West Member of Parliament. Thank you so much for making time. And Senator, it's always a pleasure to have you with us. He's the Makueni Senator Dan Manzo. And that's how we wrap up tonight's edition of KTN Prime. A lot is happening in the political space, so that's why we keep you abreast on the latest. My name is Jesse Rogers. Have yourself a good night. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.